the channel, everyone. Today, I have an iPhone XS here that on the surface looks like it's working just fine. Come in here, tap things. The screen seems to be working. There's no cracks on it. However, if I come into the keypad, I can't type the letter P. O, L, M, just this little corner right here doesn't work. Also, there's an issue with the facial unlock features of this phone and the battery. Wherever that is, battery is at 86% max capacity. So today what I thought I would do is take apart this iPhone XS, see how to remove the old screen, put a new screen and a new battery in. All of the parts needed for this video were purchased from Amazon, and I'll have links in the description below. Step one, of course, will be to power off the phone and remove the old display. Now I have decided to use the screwdriver repair kit that came with the screen to see if I can pull the entire screen off. All these repair jobs, they come with their own, repair kits, and the screwdrivers are decent, but most of the time I find that these pry sticks are just really not that great. First thing we're gonna do is unscrew the bottom, and you can see here that this is a little bit scratched up, and it's because that screw was stripped, and the only way I could get it out is by using a pair of pliers. I hope we can get some leverage here. This is not a device that's going to get resold by me or anything else like that. This is a device that's going to stick around the house. I let my daughter use it. Now, before I bring out this next tool, I have actually been criticized for using this tool in the past, and I will say this. I have used this metal tool to work on phones and other devices for many years. This tool has been around in my toolbox since the iPhone 3GS, but it is a metal spludger because, quite honestly, these don't really work to get underneath the screen most of the time. And I try to do a very good job of being careful. Do I recommend everybody use these? No, not at all. All right, so one thing we are going to have to do is use a heat gun. You got to heat the glue up all around the phone so that the old screen will come off. I'm just starting off at about 230 Celsius, just trying to get this corner a little warm. And I'm going to try to do my best not to use the metal pry tool. But as long as I'm not puncturing the battery or the motherboard, it'll be all right. Again, just kind of trying to keep an even heat. We're right here, the edge of the screen. Just a little bit of plastic or rubber sealing everything in place, and I'm just trying to get on that. We're trying to get on this lip right here. Just get underneath it like that. If I can get it open up just enough, I could stick this pry tool in there and then just kind of work it around. Probably just needs a little more heat. Get under it just enough to get another tool in there. Getting there. Just a bit slow go. There we go. Just kind of ease this around. Again, powering the device off. Just ease this around. Should be able to loosen up that glue. I'm not worried about this screen, even though it's all in one piece. The LCD is good, but the digitizer portion is not. If some of you souls out there that are braver than I am could take apart the touch sensitive part from the display part and have a good working display, but I am not that kind of person. It's a bit more delicate than I can manage. So just working my way around the phone, being careful to note that there are cables on this side that we need to worry about. Well, specifically one up here. The ones here don't really matter since they do go to the old screen. Kind of working our way around gently. Trying. There we have the inside of an iPhone XS. And you can see this is the stock battery. We're going to need to remove this piece. That's all got to go onto the new screen. But first we have to disconnect the display and the old battery. To do that, we have two different screwdrivers. I have one has a 3-tip, a tri-tip, if you will. And then one that's just a regular Phillips head. I'll be setting all of my tools off to the side, or all my parts off to the side. Try to get them all in the order that they are on the part so that I don't mix anything up, putting it all back together. Apple has always been really good at making devices with several different types of screw heads, mixing them all up make it more difficult for folks to get in and repair their own device. What I'm trying to do is a little metal piece out. Now we need to disconnect these two cables. Well as leave this cable here. Leave this cable goes to our battery. The delicate bit here kind of suss out. So I'm gonna connect a handful of these cables. That's our fella right there. Gently use a pry tool here because there's a little adhesive right there holding this cable in place. Not to rip the cables underneath. Or sever this cable, because if we do this, you won't be able to use any of these features up here. Basically just be left with an iPod. Yeah. Have one more cable here. Now our old screen is off. So like I said, the replacement screen looks like this. So all of this is going to have to be transferred over here. We'll have to clean all this adhesive off and remove this battery. So my next step before I do anything with the screen is I'm going to try to get this battery out. Now the battery came with its own separate toolkit. It came with a pair of plastic tweezers, a different version of the same set of screws, and some more pry tools. I'm going to try to work my way around this battery. I have a feeling, since this is the OEM battery, that it will take a little bit more than that to get this battery off the phone. So what I'm going to try to do first is we're going to crank our heat gun back up. And we're just going to go right along the back here in an L shape, just for a little bit to try to get that glue just loose enough for me to pry on. Going from the back seemed a little intense. I don't have the heat on this terribly high, so don't think this will be a problem. And I am checking the battery to see that it's just over 300 degrees Celsius, but it's not really, as you can see, it's not really that hot. It's just warmer than what's going on now. Trying to get a pry tool in there. And this is what I'm talking about with the standard tools that come with the unit prep. Things will break almost immediately on you. I'm just going to try to get right underneath that. I do have some isopropyl alcohol I can dip in here. Just need to find a syringe or something to drop the alcohol in. Seems to be working. Gently applying some force to the battery. Get the glue. Let go. The idea is to not puncture the battery because bad things happen. Exposing the internals of the lithium ion battery to air, smoke, and possibly fire. We don't want that. Just like that, the old battery's out. Now we just need to clean up this adhesive and all the adhesive around edges of the screen. It's also a good thing not to try to stick the pry tools in too far because you see this is the wireless charging pad and I think that might be the connector, but I don't see anywhere on the battery where that would actually connect. Looks like it goes like right here somewhere. But anyway, there's wiring underneath there of some sort, so probably best that you don't pry too hard. Just dip this in a bit of isopropyl alcohol just to kind of soften this glue up. And now to do the same thing all along the edge of where the screen attaches to the phone. Then just dipping pry tool and some isopropyl alcohol, working my way around, hoping that the adhesive for the new screen half as good. This adhesive is really good stuff. I will say this, I'm not a huge Apple fan as far as their phones go. They do make things airtight, at least watertight. As we round the corner up here, I'm trying not to flip. Don't want to damage one of the cameras. The other sensors that are up here. There we go. Now our new battery can go in. So this is Future Bryant here. After replacing the battery, the phone is now yelling at me saying that there's an unknown part with the battery. I'm going to do some research to see if I can figure out how to make that go away. The only real way I would know to make that go away is to buy an Apple genuine battery. Flipping the battery around, we have 3 little pads. 4 little pads. Sorry, I can't count, but kind of line these up. I thought line these up. There we go. Do like me. You get this right the first time. There we go. Battery is now here in the phone. I haven't connected it back up yet because I want to get screen on and tested first. Our other cables are here. We can move this out of the way. The next steps are to take all of these bits and move them over here. Taking this protective stuff off here. Going to use our tri-tip screwdriver. One screw, two screws, leave, screw it right there. Should just pop right off. And we can get to what's underneath. So underneath here we have microphone, proximity sensors. So now this is the most daunting part of this project because breaking anything here is quite costly. Applying pressure because the glue that's on here tough as the glue that's on this, thankfully. Under everything and gently trying. All right. Now, if we look at this screen versus this screen, see that all I should have to do place everything back down in its spot. You're done with this one. Everything should be held down by the screws. And one thing working on this project is I don't know if the facial recognition software will work. It was not working before. Couldn't unlock this phone face, but keypad still worked. Only issue, there's 3 buttons on the keyboard. Next step is we are going to now connect all of our cables back up, test the screen. Apple actually does rent out a repair tool that will hold all this stuff in place for you. But see the point, especially for somebody like me who seems to repair one of these about once a year. There's our screen. It powers on. Try our touch screen over here. All of that seems to be working, so that's good. Once we get the camera lined up, that'll be working. Now we just need to power this off. Remove the screen. Then we need to take this strip of adhesive, match it up here, which I believe goes like that. Now I guess you could have also laid this across here before putting all the parts on, but I think it's easier to do it this way. Now we reattach cables. Trying to knock one down. We can flip everything over. Put our card back in place. There has been an odd bit in all of this repair. That is, screw has gone missing. All it is just the top part of this guard being held in, not the end of the world. Hopefully it doesn't rattle around. Now, we'll power the phone on one last time. Make sure I got the screen on and the battery on and everything. There we go. Now, just be able to lay everything back down. Everything, a nice little push back into place. Take our 2 screws. There we go. Cameras are working. Screen looks vibrant. Everything seems to be working. So there you have it. There's replacing the OLED display on an iPhone XS along with the battery. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video as much as I have making it. My name is Bryant. This is Reviews for Nerds. Have a great day.